What is
Okay.
that thing? Like something from the
Bought it
World's
years ago
Fair?
when yeah, I bought it years ago when I was doing voiceovers. I think I did 200 auditions. I booked one or two. And I knew that the voice thing wasn't for me, But listen, you have to be gifted with that voice, that Tom Carvel voice.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So look, thank you for doing this. I appreciate it. We're gonna start. We'll start. We're just gonna rip it up. I'm gonna freak you out by telling you some old stories you probably forgot, and I'm gonna have some fun. Because I'm really really glad you're here. So let me just start it out. We got Bobby Funaro here. Welcome to Dream Believe, Bobby. You might know Bobby from his portrayal as Eugene Pontecarvo. Am I pronouncing that right? Ponte,
Pontecovo Bridge
Ponte,
Crow. Yes, it's good to be here.
Pontecarvo. Yeah, good to have
Bridge
you,
Crow
man.
in Italian. Bridge Crow in Italian.
Yeah. And many, many other, we're going to talk about a little bit, many other roles he has played in The Irishman, in Vinyl. He's on the list of actors that Martin Scorsese uses when he does a project. And I am so proud of you, man. I just want to say that when we start. I am really proud of you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
We started our story, and I want to share this story because it's so important to me. Is because is that when we started, I was doing open mic at Caroline's, and Bobby was the manager of Caroline's, and we would go out after the shows on Monday night, and I would tell him how I was going to be a comedian someday, and he would tell me how he was taking acting lessons and he was going to be an actor. He was a career in acting. And next thing I know, your career, you ended up getting roles, and you're one of those guys, man, that did what he said he was going to do. Like you followed through, like you believed in yourself, you never gave up, and that's why I'm so proud to have you on this show with me today. Is because I want you to share some of that story. I want to tell a little funny story. One of the first nights we ever went out together, we we went to drink some sake somewhere, and we were driving this big. Was that a Cadillac we were in? What was that car?
It probably was my blue cat. Yeah, it probably was. No, I don't know if it was a Cadillac.
It
Maybe
was,
that. I think it was my dad's, like Lincoln, like
yeah,
the
yeah, 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 yeah. And I remember we backed into a post or something, and you were like, and you were like, don't worry about it, Georgie. It's okay. Let's go inside. And I was like, I love this. I was like, I love this guy. I love this guy. And then we sat there drinking too much sake, talking about, who was going to do this and who was going to do that. And I always think back to that because, I've been fortunate enough to experience some really good things in my life. And I think about you as not only a great friend, but also someone who's a really good example of following your dream and believing in yourself and never giving up. I remember I call you sometimes earlier in your career, and you'd be like, Georgie, I'm doing okay, but I'm auditioning for another thing. And you just you kept doing it, and it paid off for you. And I'd like you just to share, now that I've kind of set this up a little bit, if you don't mind just sharing, like how, what was behind your passion for acting, and you chose one of the toughest professions known to mankind, and pull really.
I like that description. It's good.
I know, seriously. I mean, talk about enjoying rejection. I mean,
Constantly to deal with that.
Yeah. So share with with me just part of like from when you were telling me I'm taking acting lessons and I'm going to be an actor to, you know, I always say that you got to get in the game and believe in yourself in order to accomplish it. And so just, if you don't mind sharing a little bit of your career starting out and then obviously getting your break, some of the breaks in the beginning, and then they're not breaks anymore. Now you are a seasoned, well-respected actor that if you audition for the right role, you have a good chance of getting it and pulling it off. So just share with us, if you can, just a little bit of that starting out and believing in yourself.
Well, not all the time, George. There is a lot of rejection still.
Yeah.
the waters haven't parted. Yeah,
Yeah,
as you said, it's one of the toughest careers one can choose to
yeah.
have. It's a lot better for males than females. They seem to, once they get older, they get less and less opportunities. But my story started, well, I always, from my early days, going to my uncle, Father Joe, as a priest in the Catholic Charities. He used to he used to produce these plays, and I would go to see his plays, and that's how I basically got the bug for acting. And then I
Okay.
seriously, um, I lived my life a little bit, but then I was always on the back burner to become a professional actor. So but at the time when I was originally at Caroline's, it really wasn't happening for me. Because of the fact that, I had a family, I had my son. So
Yes. Yeah. I remember. Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
it's a little bit more difficult to go out on auditions. I didn't have an agent, but, it was always there. One thing I've always done was always been involved with entertainment. Before Caroline's, it was Madison Square Garden. I
Yeah.
left the Garden, and
Right.
I was like forced to resign because my brother-in-law got me the job, and there was a security guard that was out to get me because he was drinking coffee and Dunkin' Donuts one night. And I said, "What are you doing? You're supposed to be guarding the gate. The Knicks are coming out, or whatever." So I yelled at him, and he let me. He researched my brother-in-law Carmine, and who was the manager, the big manager there. And I got the job. I mean, and then I lost it, but I remember, I still remember to this day, why are you resigning? Because I'm going to pursue my career in acting, I wrote.
I love it. I love it.
And
Yeah.
then my friend Gordon landed me the job as a doorman at Caroline's.
Okay. Okay.
Doorman at Caroline's. And when I got that job, I later became a manager. And because of my friend Gordon, who was at a party where James Gandolfini was attending,
Yeah.
he went up to him and had the gumption of people in the neighborhood
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
known it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It was the season 3. He said, "If I was you, I'd get your friend Bobby Funaro a job on that show," because prior to that, me and James, we toured Scandinavia 7 years prior to that in Streetcar Named Desire.
Yeah. I read about that. Yeah. Yeah.
So we were friends, but we were on and off after that. I
Yeah.
saw him one time at Rudy's in Hell's Kitchen, but we really didn't keep close contact. He went
Right.
to LA. I kind of lived my life. Anyway, we wound up together again because of Gordon going up to him and so he said, "Well, what's Bobby doing?" He's working at Caroline's on Broadway. So I don't know when this happened. It may have been the following year or 6 months later. They were looking to cast a role on Sopranos, and he remembered that. I walked in one night, and prior to the night, you know how it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Set up, and he was at the bar. "James, how you doing? What's going on?" And we kind of shoot the shit and everything. He said, I'm down here for a reason. I want you to audition for a role on Sopranos. I can't promise you anything. I tried to do this already with one person. It didn't work out. I want to offer you this opportunity. You want to do it? Of course.
Oh.
Have you been acting? Sure, James. I've been acting. You
I
gotta lie, everybody.
love it.
That's how it happened for me. God blessed me with James coming down, and the rest.
Yeah. It's history.
From that time, I got the part, which gave me. And then James helped me with his agent, writers and artists. Although they didn't sign me, they did send me out for legitimate auditions, which I booked.
Yeah.
Based on Law and Order, and then I went from Law and Order to different TV shows, and I was getting some films, and I knew a lot less then. I know a lot more now. I still can't get into those great auditions when James was around. And then Writers and Artists went to LA, and of course I found other managers and everything. But that's really how it happened for me. I really didn't, to tell you the truth, it really was on the back burner. But like when we spoke, it was my dream for that to happen. And with that opportunity, I took advantage of it, and I seized the day.
Yes. And here you are today, still acting, still auditioning, still doing. And then tell me how you got involved with Scorsese. How did that whole thing happen to start to work with him?
Well, I did get a great manager, God rest his soul, Eric Faber. We lost him about 3 years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, pancreatic cancer.
Oh man.
He tried to stay in the game as long as possible. Then he gave us all his clients and told them via email and calling us saying that
Right.
he wasn't doing well. Eric was a great manager, but he was a agent first at Atlas Talent Agency in New York, this very
Right.
big
Right.
commercial agency. But he decided that he was going to go out on his own
Right.
because Eric, believe it or not, got me the job at American Gangster.
Right.
He got me
Yes.
that job. And he wasn't even my agent, but he was my commercial agent. I gave him the commission, of course. And then he decided, you know what, I'm pretty good at this. I maybe could do it. And that's how I gave me the audition. I went to see Ellen Lewis in Vinyl, and they liked me. And I landed that job. I auditioned for Galasso, which was played by Armangaro, and Marty decided to give me the other role of Tony Del Greco, which was his side, his arm, his strong arm.
Right. 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 Right.
That's how I met. That's how I engaged with Marty, and of course,
Right.
when you're in that family with Marty, he knows that he likes you.
Yeah.
Ellen will bring you in for certain things if you're submitted to the Ellen Lewis who's a great casting director.
Right.
And just the casting directors like her, now with the Echo cast, it's just really so much different. It's almost like you're making a little film, but at the same time, you don't get those great notes that Ellen might give you. Try it this way. Marty's looking for this.
Right.
And you get that. You just get a couple of takes and you hope it's like shooting craps.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's really frustrating, but what are you gonna do? I hope we get back, and I think we will.
Yeah. 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 And you got to work with De Niro, which must have been phenomenal.
That was wonderful to work with him. I mean, I really didn't know what to expect, but I did know that he was a very quiet person, very to himself. That's what people had told me. But I did have a kind of a relationship with him because my mentor, Richard Bright, who was Al Neri in The Godfather. We another person that we lost him. He was
God.
across 86th Street, and a bus hit him.
Oh God.
But Richard, if you look at his career, he's done so many things: The Godfather, The Marathon Man. Anyway,
Yeah.
he did Once Upon a Time with America, so he knew De Niro, and his ex-wife, Britannia Alder, had done The Deer Hunter with Bobby.
Yeah.
And I had something to talk about when I
Yeah.
met.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or immediately we struck a friendship because
Right.
we had to be friends anyway. In the film, I introduced Bobby Cannavale, and
Right.
it worked out well. We had a very good experience with him. Felt very relaxed with Marty. It was great. It was a really wonderful experience. It was like a milestone for me to work with one of the.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people have worked with Robert De Niro, but not everyone.
No, not ever. No, and it must have been surreal. I mean, tell me a little bit about Martin Scorsese and just being around him and his work. I mean, what's something you could share that's something unique?
Yeah, well, he creates an atmosphere of a relaxed atmosphere, not an atmosphere where you get a lot of television. It was like that on Sopranos too, where you were relaxed. You can improvise a little bit more with Marty than Sopranos.
Yeah.
Like for instance, my last take, the take that he used was the one he came up to me and he said, "Okay, I want you to do whatever you want to do." Well, what do you mean, whatever I want to do? I said, "No, just it's okay. Just do what you want. Just let it,
Yeah. Yeah.
My Marty Scorsese imitation.
I love it.
So he used that one, and I used some my ad libs to fill in the gaps, because he knows that. That's why it's so great we're working with amateurs. Like John Cassavetes was great working with amateurs. He knew to bring out. If he casts you, he knows you know about that experience. You come from that experience. So he tells you,
right,
what you feel like doing in this moment. And some of the dialogue, I can't take credit for it. Steve Zalian, the writer of Glad, does take all the credit. But a lot of that improvisation he allows, and I'm sure it's threaded throughout all his films that he allows you to do it your way by using the foundation of the dialogue. That's foundation, but the action of your action. So that's the whole thing. Right. And you can look at it in all the small performances in The Irishman or any of his films.
Yes.
really stand out.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I have fully enjoyed watching you act. I really, it's because I know you, and I know where you come from, and it comes through in who you are on screen, and you can see how they capture that when they cast you in these different roles. It's just amazing. I like I said, I'm so proud of you, and you know what, Bobby. So you're always learning at your profession. So you're always right. I mean, you never know it all.
No, you can't. You really, there's no, I mean, um, like the Zoom things, the auditions, they're really a challenge because you can give them a couple of takes, but at the same time, as I said, you got to learn to do that too. To
Yeah,
make that, I mean, you can work with another actor, but
right.
more of a finished product where the casting director says, "Oh, try it this way, try it that way." And you're not getting that, so you kind of,
Yeah. So
as I said,
now, yeah,
I mean, yeah, you're always learning, and you're always trying to do new things. Right currently I'm trying to produce my own things,
yep,
uh, because you kind of want to be typecast a lot. So
yes, right.
I get typecast. It happens to everyone.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So you try to, I mean,
Well, it hasn't been too bad to you. I mean,
well,
I mean,
yeah,
that
it wasn't
casting
bad.
has been good to you, and there are so many stories that lend themselves to a good Italian boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, when I worked with Jessica Biel, I played a father-in-law in The Sinner, which was a really hit series. If you haven't seen that, that's a great mystery,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
murder,
yeah.
uh, macabre kind of David Lynch style drama with Bill Pullman. Um, I was cast as her father-in-law. My name was Tanner, but he wasn't,
Yeah, I
really.
did.
So
Yeah,
they changed the name to Tanetti,
right. Okay.
but still, I really was from down south. I mean, it took place down in South,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it was it was probably taking place upstate New York, but it didn't matter because um, I wasn't just the Italian guy that
yeah,
just.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
even though they changed the name, it still kept it kind of clean.
yeah, 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 yeah,
I've had the opportunity not only to play the Goombas,
yeah,
the other roles
yeah.
too, which was good.
Yeah. I was telling the guys before we went on and started to record this today that one of the biggest things that I look up to you for is your humbleness, how humble
Oh,
you are. And I just think I always have admired you for that. And the only other person that's taught me that was my kids, you and my kids, both my boys.
they give you lessons in that. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
My
yeah.
children,
But as I watch you go through your career, it's been fun as a friend and as a fan to watch you, and then also be able to talk to you and see the human side of you and how humble you have always been and how you take it one stride at a time, and I just think that's fantastic. I really do. So
thank you, Sean. Very
I'm really when I thought of doing this show, as personal friends go, you were on the top of the list that I wanted to have on because I look up to you through
nice.
because of that. So tell me a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about your mom, and the recipes and the cooking and stuff like that. Because as I didn't know any about that, I started looking into it, and then I really found it fun. So tell me a little bit about the recipes and the cooking.
The COVID crisis drove us inside. I gained 20 pounds, which I'm losing.
Yeah,
I have to lose it. My doctor says my blood pressure is high. We spoke about that the other
yeah,
night.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm losing it. Got a
yeah,
salad, some
yeah.
Iron Chef wasabi. By the way, the Iron Chef stuff is good. I'm not promoting it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, 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 yeah, yeah. Please,
Uh,
please do.
I
Yeah.
mean, we were forced to do something. So, like all Italians, well, why not cook? So I started making all.
I
And
love
then
it.
my sister said, "We should post. You should join Instagram." So I started posting some of these dishes on Instagram,
Yeah.
and 1,000 likes, 2,000 likes. People
Crazy.
are saying, you gotta start.
Yeah.
You gotta do a cooking show or something.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's I
They
love
were just traditional Italian. I mean, there wasn't anything fancy. They were
I,
just
and
home
you
cooked. You know what I mean? And I made, for people, and then I kind of had a Zoom for it. I had some Zooms for it where I tried to collect some money. I'll probably do it again for a charity, maybe St. Jude's. I
yeah,
haven't gotten
yeah,
to it because my mom, God rest her soul, she passed away. So it's
yeah.
kind of hard for me to do it right now. So, but
Oh,
I guess I'll go back to doing it.
yeah, you
So
should. So she was alive when you were doing it. I'm so you.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
so she got to
yeah.
see it. Oh, that's great. That must
She
have
got to
been.
taste it.
She got. She got to watch you cook
Taste
her recipes. Uh-oh.
got to taste it. That
She
was
got
the
to,
thing.
yeah, you got to taste it. That's fantastic. I love this. I read somewhere a story that you were like, so people said, do you call it gravy or do you call it sauce? And you said, look, I just eat it.
Well, whatever the hell you want to call it, I don't
Oh,
care.
I love it.
People
That's
will
great.
fight you. They will have these big arguments about the gravy. It has meat in it, but it's really not gravy. Turkey has
I know. I know.
sauce. I don't know
I
if you
know.
ever got into it. You have
Oh
to. If
yeah.
you're
Oh
Italian, you
yeah.
have to get into it. So I just said, you know what? I don't really care.
Right.
Call it sauce, gravy. I'll have it. So
Well, I know, being Italian, that's what people say. Hey, so what do you, knowing you're Italian, George, what do you call it at your house? Do you call it gravy? Everybody wants to know that. We just call it sauce. It's gravy. Whatever. We just, like I said, we just
that
eat it.
came from the gravy came from, I guess, when we moved to America, like the immigrants and everything, that it became a slang for, I guess, the Neapolitans.
Yeah.
They would call it from my area. They would say, "Yeah, that's the gravy, having the
Yeah.
gravy." It had meat in it,
I love it. I
so
love
it
it.
had meat in it. So
Yeah. I love. I when I,
I call
when,
it Funaro
I
sauce.
I so enjoyed reading that about you and you doing your mother's recipe. I just thought that was really funny and fun and all that kind of good stuff. I mean, it's just and the credenza. We keep it in the credenza. Only the Italians would know that, right?
Yeah, sure.
It's so funny. I love it. I
My
love it.
grandmother used to leave out one ingredient. I didn't do that, but she used to do that. My grandma.
Did she really? No kidding.
This is so delicious, but she said, I always leave out one ingredient.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Bobby Funaro, you are one of a kind. I want to thank you so much for
Thank you,
sharing
Joe.
your story on Dream Believe. Like I said, it's been an honor for me as a friend and as a fan to have you on. And we have some more episodes to go, you and me, in our life together too. So we're not all done. But I want to thank you very much.
Credenza.
Huh? We got right. We got some stuff in the credenza.
That's right.
That's right. We got some stuff in the credenza to bring out. You got it. All right, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, buddy. Okay, and I'll be in touch. All right, there you go. Okay.
Ciao, brother.
Bye bye. God bless. Bye.
All right, thank you. You too.
You got it.
God
All
bless.
right, I'll talk. Look, I'll call you later.
Okay, see you
All
later.
right. Bye. 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 Bye.